What's up, guys? Tom Leone here, New York Sports Gurus, with my boy K Meags. What's up, K Meags?
Yo, how you doing, Tom?
I'm doing good, brother. We're here. We're talking Giants football every Tuesday now. It's gonna be lit. Kyle is a huge Giant fan. We all know that. Most of our friends know that. And as most of our friends know, that I'm a Jet fan. There's a lot of animosity between us. I know I don't hate the Giants. I know Kyle doesn't hate the Jets, but last year with Saquon and Sam Darnold, bro, there's some drama now, and we play each other this year, so we're keeping a close eye on what our teams do. But pretty much a rundown. I'm going to ask Kyle like 5, 6 questions of what he thinks the Giants should do this offseason and in the draft and players to watch in the combine because it's a huge offseason for the Giants, like big, like very important in their rebuild or what the hell they're doing. Who knows what they're doing? So it's good to get a Giants fan insight because I'm sure Giant fans don't want to continuously hear from a Jet fan about their team. So let's start with the questions here, brother. So do you like, speaking of Sam Darnold, Saquon Barkley, do you like the way the Giants handled last year's draft?
Yes, I do. Just because, you know what, now we're in a prime position this year to get a quarterback. Now, say we don't get the QB this year. We have Odell right now who's in the peak of his prime. And there's just a lot going for us with the weapons. And our offensive line last year was not good. The year before that was even worse. I mean, we had Eric Flowers start 7 games for us last year. So
What a bum that guy is.
Yeah, so we're slowly improving on the offensive line, and we need to continue to do so this season for the next QB coming in.
All right, so you think that either Haskins, Murray, Jones, one of those guys is better than the picks of quarterbacks you could have picked up from last year, or had the potential to be as good? You firmly believe that as a Giant fan?
I firmly believe Haskins has a chance to be.
I agree. I like Haskins.
I thought last year Rosen would be the best QB coming out, and I did think we missed an opportunity with Rosen. But with that being said, we also got a top 3 running back, maybe the best one in the league
true.
right now, with a very poor offensive line. So when the new QB comes in, it's not just on the QB. We can run the ball. We can play old-fashioned Giants football.
So, all right, that's perfect. So that leads me to the next question I have for you. Do you believe – so the Giants are in this huge conundrum pretty much. They don't know what they're going to do with their quarterback situation. So can you win another Super Bowl with Eli Manning? Can the Giants win another one with Eli Manning? Because I think they're going to stay with Eli if they don't go quarterback.
I highly doubt it, but you never know just because our strength of schedule this year is second best. So we're playing pretty bad teams, to be honest with you. And that could give us a chance to get into the playoffs, and, Eli does very well in the playoffs. So.
That's true. You're playing the AFC East, so besides the Patriots, it should be a walkthrough, right? But, I mean, we have the quarterback that you should have took last year. So, I mean, is that really a toss-up? That's going to be a fun game. All right, but do you want to keep Eli Manning or do you want to move on? Like, as a Giant fan, Eli, you won 2 Super Bowls. I'm jealous. 07, 11, great runs with the guy. Can you really see – or do you want them moving on from Eli and going with another young quarterback? It's going to feel weird. It's going to be different. So do you want that?
Yeah, well, obviously I do. I'm all in on Haskins. I think we should select him. And just basically, Eli, everybody respects Eli. Everybody will always have Eli's back. We raise him above everybody else because of the 2 Super Bowls. But it'd be nice to draft a QB, even if that means Eli is the starter going in. But I think we should ask for a potential pay cut because him taking up 1/4 of the salary, it eats up, and we have many holes on this team.
I know.
So.
That's a good point. I mean, he's got a $23.2 million cap hit this year. It's disgusting. That's just like, if you guys get rid of him, that clears up. He doesn't have much dead money. I mean, it'll clear up a lot of money, which gives you guys more.
That's another offensive lineman in a low-end corner.
Exactly. Like a Steven Nelson type of corner.
Yeah.
From
Somebody
Kansas City.
Come in and compete for the second spot.
Exactly. Now, so since you want to move on from Eli Manning, you're going to have to try to create that winning formula back 07-11, and you have the running back already. So do you think the Giants can repeat that 07-11 winning formula with Saquon Barkley being the centerpiece of the offense? Do you think it can happen? I mean, maybe not next year, but the year after, because, I mean, rookie quarterbacks, you're not winning the Super Bowl with a rookie quarterback. It's not happening. But
next year, it's going to be very hard, very unlikely. And the year after that, we have to see what happens. What is Odell going to be healthy? Do we sign Sterling Shepard back? Is Evan Ingram going to be back with the team? There's a lot of questions that would head after this season coming up. So basically, with the running back, and we need to continue to improve the O-line, and the defense flat out just isn't good enough to compete. So
what?
We got a lot of young talent on the defensive side, but it's not there yet.
Yeah, I agree with that. Outside looking in, I mean, I'm not a Giant fan, so I really don't pay that much attention to the Giants, but I do pay a little bit attention. The defense has a lot of potential, but they're just not there yet. And when you think about the defense, and when I think of Giants defense, I think of two players. I think of Olivier Vernon is probably the best player of getting to the quarterback, but doesn't know how to sack the quarterback, and Landon Collins, which means Landon Collins. Do you franchise him this year? I mean, you guys only have, if you don't franchise tag him, the Giants have $27.5 million in cap space to spend. And if you franchise him, you have a little under $15 million. So do you think that franchising him and franchising him is going to kind of hinder what you can do on the defensive side of the ball because he's going to take up $12 million? So do you think they should franchise him?
So, as we said before, this team obviously does have a lot of holes. But getting rid of Landon Collins just creates another hole in the defense, considering we already don't have a free safety, and now we wouldn't have a strong safety. So I think the best bet, even though it does take up a good amount of cap, I think it's $11 million, just franchise tagging him would be the best bet just because, he's been injured the last 2 years. I mean, he played for most of the season last year, but this is the second year in a row where he's going to have surgery on something, so make sure he's healthy next year. And he does have coverage problems, but in his fairness, he doesn't have the speed at inside linebacker for people to help him on the inside. And free safety, it's always been a roller coaster ride for the Giants since Antron rolled.
No, you know what? That's a good point though. But and another thing about Collins, people rank on him, but the last 2 years the Giants were like so bad that he really wasn't playing like. And then he's hurt. Their playoff year, his rookie year, I think it was his rookie year, right? Your playoff year. The dude was a beast.
He was considered defensive player of the year.
Yeah, I mean,
Khalil Mack and Aaron Donald. So
yeah, you can't get rid of that. I think though, if you franchise Landon Collins, it's the end of Eli. There's no shot the Giants are going to go into this offseason with only $15 million in cap space. It makes no sense. So, I mean, Olivier Vernon. You want to hear the Giants' top? I mean, you probably already know the Giants' top 5 cap hits this year. Eli's at $23.2 million. Odell's at $21 million. Olivier Vernon's at $19.5. Nate Solder's at $17 million. And Janoris Jenkins at $14.75. That is way too much money on players that haven't been performing the way they should be performing. So, without a doubt, I think if the Giants franchise Collins, which I agree with you, I think they should do, they got to get rid of Eli. So
exactly. I also believe they would consider getting rid of Olivier Vernon. That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, they can move him.
He takes up way too much of the cap, and just to be honest here, he's injured all the time, and like you said, he's good at getting to the QB. But if you can't sack the QB, I mean,
what's the point?
Can only help you so much with you getting all that money.
Exactly. I was like the icing on the cake, the cherry on top for Jerry Reese. That was his leaving touch for the Giants.
Yeah.
Was Olivier Vernon. So speaking of, we've been talking about Eli leaving and defensive holes. So what do you want the Giants to do in this year's draft? You have the number 6 pick. You can move up. You can move down. You could draft a quarterback. You could draft a defensive player. What do you, Kyle Marr, want the Giants to do at number 6? You're on the clock right now. You're Dave Gettleman. Today, it's draft day. Who are you taking?
Now, if Jacksonville wouldn't jump us, I would absolutely take Dwayne Haskins.
Okay.
I would take him in a heartbeat. Now, I have a feeling they might jump us. So what I would do is I would look at pretty much anything on the defensive side of the ball. So maybe interior linebacker. So Devin White out of LSU is a hot name I think we could look at.
He's a good player.
Yeah. There's a lot of edge rushers in this year's draft.
So true.
Maybe we can get one in the second round. interior line. I mean, if there's any way Quentin Williams can fall or Josh Allen on the edge, then I look at those guys.
True. So basically, you, as probably the biggest Giant fan I know, is Dwayne Haskins is the only quarterback you're taking at 6.
Yes, I would not take Kyler Murray. No, I'm not about that.
Kyle Murray is so anti-Giant. When I think of a Giant quarterback, I think of a soft-spoken leader that just goes out and does his job. You know who I think of when I think of a perfect Giants quarterback?
Who?
Sam Darnold. But that's an argument for another day and another time. But I agree. Dwayne Haskins coming home doesn't scare you at all. I mean, we all kind of know of Dwayne. We know Dwayne. We're close with people who are actually boys with Dwayne. You don't think coming home will be an issue, or does that scare you at all, or no? Do you think it'll be good for Dwayne to come home?
It actually helps him. He has his family over there, so there's a good supporting cast to help him.
True. Listen.
He wants to play for the Giants.
It makes too much sense.
He makes that clear on Instagram and Twitter that he photographs the picture of him. He has something to prove for the Giants organization.
Of course. And listen, he's coming in and he'll be throwing the ball to Odell Beckham Jr., Evan Ingram, Sterling Shepard, and he'll hand the ball off to Saquon Barkley 20-25 times a game.
Exactly.
So it's
all the pressure's not on him.
Exactly. I think it's a perfect situation for him. I just hope that the Giants don't get naive and don't move up or make a move before Jacksonville makes a move. I hope they don't, sit back and wait, because if you don't think the Giants, if the Giants don't take a quarterback in this draft, there's some issues. Personally, though, because there's just so much wrong with the Giants, and I think that I'm seeing his cap hit. I have it pulled up on my computer. Eli Manning cannot be making $23.2 million with your current team. He needs to go.
He's basically getting paid because he won us 2 Super Bowls. That's why. Otherwise, he would have been probably gone last year. I mean, a lot of the fans, including myself, wanted him back last year because it was true. The offensive line, when you have Bobby Hart and Eric Flowers starting at tackle, it's not a winning formula on offense.
No, it's not.
You don't have that much time to get the ball out. But this year, you start to see Eli regress a lot more, and it's just time.
Yeah.
We respect him, we love him, but it's time.
It is. And I think that teams are going to jump and snatch him up right away once he's cut. But there's a little part of me that Eli might, if the Giants give up on him, he might just call it quits. I don't know, but we'll see. Or he'll maybe he tries to come back with a team like Jacksonville or a team like that and try to prove that, it wasn't me that was the issue in New York. It was the offensive line. But who knows? The Mannings are weird. The Mannings do weird things. But I agree. It's time to move on from Eli. You like Dwayne Haskins. I like Dwayne Haskins for the Giants. It makes too much sense coming home. Great offense. I mean, like I said in the little debate that I was trying to start with you guys with Saquon and Sam Darnold, on paper, the Giants' skill positions in that NFC East, there is nobody better, in my opinion. Dallas doesn't come close. Philadelphia doesn't come close. Washington's a joke. But so they're in such good position this offseason to do dangerous things, and they could be a playoff team next year if Gettleman makes the right moves. But you know what? It's time to move on from Eli. So
there's just a lot of holes on the team with not a lot of cap.
Yeah.
And as the year progressed, we became a younger defense, which I like, because having a lot of old people out there, you're really not getting better.
Yeah, no, you're not. It hurts a rebuild getting older players. So
that's why we traded Snacks. That's why Eli Apple wasn't a fit for us. And that's what makes me wonder if we're going to get rid of Vernon and Janoris Jenkins possibly.
It could be. Listen, those moves make sense because this offseason is going to be weird. It could go either way. Like I said, they could be a playoff team next year if they make certain moves and everything falls their way. But most likely, they're probably going to be the outside looking in with 2020, with their $77 million in cap space, maybe more, to be that year. If they do go quarterback this year's draft, Dwayne looks good, and they just freaking go all in, that could be the Giants' year. But
exactly, and Dwayne can learn under somebody's wing. Maybe it could be
maybe.
There's way to prepare, and
he's got to restructure, though, bro. Yeah, Eli's got to restructure, though, if you want him to learn behind him. Because, listen, Barkley's made $7 million last year as a top 5 pick. If they don't trade up for Dwayne and they take him 6, he'll be at 5. You'll have no cap space to do anything. So it's going to be interesting. Just to end this real quick, the Combine's this weekend. Give us some players for Giant fans to look out for that the Giants might be looking at.
So, along with the QB, I think there's some interest with Daniel Jones. I highly doubt they would look at him at pick 6, but you never know with the Giants. He has that David Cutcliffe, who was Eli's former coach and Peyton Manning's former offensive coordinator. So there's some connections there, and he works out with the Mannings. So I think maybe Giants will be back into the first round late to get him would be interesting, and I could see them doing it. Offensive lineman, I think Cody Ford and
that guy's a beast. I want the Jets to take him.
Cody Ford, yep, he's a big mauler, and Jonah Williams would be interesting.
Yep.
Also, I think, like I said earlier, Quinn Williams or Josh Allen or Devin White, or even some corners like Greedy Williams, Brian Murphy could also be considered for the Giants.
Word. So basically, advice to Giant fans, Google who's showing up at the Combine at quarterback, cornerback, edge, and offensive line, and just watch every single one of them because they could possibly be on the Giants because that's where the New York Giants are. All right, bro. It was great talking to you. We're going to do this every Tuesday. Get ready to keep talking Giants. Guys, thanks for listening. New York Sports Gurus talking Giant football. Me, Kalmar. Thanks for listening.